So running out of money, it was a conversation where I had to have my wife about sitting down and saying, look, the only option we got, because there's no one's going to loan you money right now, the only option you got is remortgaging our family house. Try having that conversation.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
And how did it go?
What, the conversation?
The conversation.
Yeah, the conversation was a cards on the table conversation.
Yeah.
And my wife, it was our anniversary yesterday for 16 years.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, from 2008, after that conversation. We got married that year. We got married 2 weeks after the first festival, by the way, which, again, anyone listening out there, don't put on a festival and then put a wedding on 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. It's the madness to do that. But anyway, the conversation, I was like, Fleur, like, we're either going to walk away for $100,000 because everyone wanted their money up front. I was thinking, in my being really naive, we're talking 17 years ago, I was thinking, well, I'm going to get all the money in after the festival. They're going to pay everyone.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, in January, before the festival in May, everyone wanted the money. So we're like, no, we'll pay you after. So we paid all the money, and there was still a shed load of bills to come in.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was going to cost roughly $100,000, but it ended up costing $300,000. So, and I didn't know that until we got to the festival. Anyway, I had the conversation with Fleur. I was like, well, the only option we've got is to remortgage the house. And she's not a risk taker. And I love risk. And back then I was quite ballsy. And she's a beautiful woman who's grew up in Wales, in the hills, and everything's just nice, just peace and what have you. And then obviously we've been only together for sort of 5 years before that. And she's about to marry a promoter who loves risk. So it was like a, two end. And I guess that's why it works.
Yeah.
She reins me in. And anyways, we had this conversation, deep conversation, and she was like, I'll just fully back you. But, which is unbelievable of her to do that. But, and I hope you don't mind me saying it, but she was crying in bed 5 nights a week before we went to sleep about the risk we've just taken, because no one would buy with a credit card back then tickets. Back then, it was all flying and postering. Back then, we're risking our family house, and if people don't turn up on the day to give you cash to pay it's madness looking back at it now.
Yeah.
It really is madness, and I say to a lot of people, I'll say to other entrepreneurs, take calculated risk. That was no calculation. That was zero calculation. That was crazy, really.
Did that first year, did you get the sigh of relief of, it's worked in year one?
Yeah, I got the feeling, oh my God, people have turned up. Because you build a festival site. You got to put the marquees, you got to put the showers, the toilets, the fencing, the DJs, the security, the police, the fire brigade, the airport's next door, you're dealing with them. And I had no staff. So I was juggling all of this. I had Fleur left her job at JP Morgan just to help out to do some emails and stuff, because I didn't do emails, I don't use a computer. So it was like, I took on way too much. But I was selling the dream of a sport and music festival. I was putting on flyers, Sky TV are going to be there. I was putting on flyers that I was putting so much pressure on myself that I had to make it work, and I had to, going back to thinking, if I'm saying I'm going to do something, I'll do it. And I printed it all and say I was going to do all this stuff. I was like, shit, I'm going to have to do all this. I said Sky TV, Sky Sports, I said the BBC are going to be. I made all this stuff up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All this entertainment, but I had to follow through, and I followed through, and I got them there. When you're in desperate times, you do stuff to make shit happen.
So I'm going to say it, and I'll make it happen.
Yeah, I've committed. I've shook hands. I've committed. This is going to happen.